Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful, and I mean beautiful, it's gorgeous this morning, Surfside, California, here in Southern California. So many of you are joining us from around the world now, so I'll give you the geography. Over there is Seal Beach, California, and over here is Huntington Beach, California, and it is gorgeous this morning. The sun is so warm and beautiful. Look at that ocean. It's flat, calm, and gorgeous. Surfers are out there enjoying an early morning surf. And man, I'll tell you, there's a lot to cover in terms of sport fishing right now because things are really getting crazy in SoCal. And they're only going to get better. You know, we're kind of recuperating from the tropical storm that went through. We lost some water temperature in some areas, and that water temperature is slowly but surely coming back. But I'm telling you, it hasn't stopped some really excellent fishing. And as I've been saying for a long time, and I'm going to hold to this, I think it's only going to get better and better and better because we're going to have more warm water flow from the El Nino, and we're going to see more tropical fish flood into our areas. It is going to get downright great. Nice weather and really beautiful stuff going on. Tackle Shop Confessions last night. What a show that was with Sam De La Torre. It's archived for you, so you can go back and listen right now. Sam shows you a lot of tackle and how to use it in our current bites. Also, Michael Limon doing jumping jacks and earning about $70 last night, thanks to Chuck Zimmer from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. That's pretty funny stuff that went on. And Chuck's already sent me a note and said, hey, give me a Venmo number. I'm sending the money over for Michael right away. So great stuff and really wonderful show last night. Check that out. Cedros Island, not biting all that great right now, recuperating from the storm that went through there. Eric Weezar is there. We'll check in and see how everything is going there. And also, we'll be watching our local yellowfin, tuna, Dorado, and kelp paddy Yellowtail bite. Man, there was some conking that went on yesterday. And also our islands up in the Channel Islands, Fort Bragg, Albacore, and so much more. You know what time it is, everybody. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning to you all. Oh, that Java is so good, and it's so great to be with you all again. Hey, don't forget, hit that like button. It really helps us a lot. Share these videos if you are enjoying them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content available. Don't forget, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok with constant updates throughout the day. And of course, whenever anything goes on, you'll hear it here first on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel or any one of those social media platforms that I just talked about. I spent some precious moments with my dear friend Eddie Leland yesterday, and we're trying to get him out barb perch fishing perhaps this afternoon. Working with Noli Yan Jr., who's a fantastic guy. Noli's got it dialed in on the barb perch, and I told Eddie about it in my visit yesterday, and that's all he could talk about. That's all he could think about. So Noli said, maybe this afternoon. You think we can pull it off? So I'm working on that. Of course, I will document the joy and happiness later today if we're able to pull that off. Also, want to remind you that August the 31st, don't forget, we have, or not we, but the Horizon has a great 2.5-day trip that you're going to want to become a part of. It's a great trip, wonderful fishing going on. It's only going to get better. So 2.5-day trip, Horizon, H&M Landing, San Diego. If you want to get on that trip, send Ricky a text or give him a call at 619-985-5179. Should be all kinds of alternatives and opportunities available on that trip, including kelp paddy, Dorado, and Yellowtail, the Tanner Bank, Cortez Bank, so much more. Should be a really great trip. All right, my friends, let's jump into it with you. Eric Weezar down there in Cedros as he was driving in and getting ready to fish. The word we got yesterday, Matt Groff is there from Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California, and he said it was a little bit sore. I think they had 3 or 4 yellows on their ponga, but it's all part of the process. They had quite a bit of rain and wind when Tropical Storm Hillary went through there, so they're cleaning up, and the water temp also needs to clean up, and once it does, that bite will get right back on, and that's just the same thing going on just about everywhere we look. So we're watching that very closely for you. Up to Ensenada, good mixed bag fishing going on locally with barracuda and also some sand and calico bass, bonita, some big bonita, a few yellowtail, a few halibut, really good fishing, and plenty of rockfish also down in that neck of the woods. Offshore, we're starting to see more yellowfin tuna push in there. Not as much as I would like to see, or it's just being evasive, number one, or the seiners are putting some more pressure on it. But we saw a good influx a couple days ago, and then lesser catches yesterday. We'll see what happens. But there seems to be no shortage of Dorado, and they just need to settle and bite, and they are already starting to do that. You're still running on kelp patties out of Ensenada that are holding and not biting. You see the darn things, and they just won't bite. It'll drive you absolutely mad. But hopefully it's getting ready to bite. We saw some very good fishing for San Diego-based boats and some of the pongas and private boaters out of Ensenada also encountering that. Man, I'm telling you, late summer, fall, it's going to rock in Ensenada. Jump across the border to San Diego, and man, I'll tell you, maybe we took a little bit of a dip, but not much. We told you about the Independence. The day after Hillary had 90 mixed yellowtail and yellowfin tuna fishing within about a 50-mile radius of Point Loma sport fishing. That is some darn good fishing. And those yellowfin, beautiful grade, 18 to 30 pounds. Those yellowtail, however, that grade was outstanding. Mostly 15 to 25 pound yellowtail on the kelps down there. Really good fishing. Fly line bait, Opsin fluorocarbon, or whatever fluoro you like, working really, really well. www.opsinusa.com. Put in FA at checkout, and Greg Brown will give you a hug and a kiss when he sees you. More importantly, he'll send you a free gift and a handwritten note. I don't know if his little fingers have fallen off from doing so many of those. Maybe he's not doing that anymore. But I suspect, knowing Greg, that he is still doing just that. So, again, good fishing on those kelps. It was still pretty good for most guys yesterday. In fact, the Pride, 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California, absolutely slammed the yellows yesterday. Had 100+ yellows on the kelp, off looking for tuna, still fishing. 2-day trip, Pride, Sean Roberts, as usual, Michael Potvin fishing their tails off as a tractor descends upon me, and they're knocking the berm down. The berm was built up to protect Surfside Colony from any impending doom from Tropical Storm Hillary, and now they're knocking the berm down. So glad to see that, so we get a good view of this gorgeous Eastern Pacific Ocean, and it is gorgeous. So really nice looking kelps out of San Diego right now. Tanner Bank, we saw the Pegasus early in the morning yesterday, and he was slammed on the bluefin tuna, having some very good fishing, and we are seeing some really good fishing out there in that neck of the woods. Aztec getting back in. Now the Aztec chose to fish those kelps and did really well. 43 on the yellowtail, 41 on the flatheads, 41 Dorado, and 7 bluefin tuna that are BFT mixed in with that. You could get a hit on that also in that area. Now out on the bank, Tomahawk getting back in from a 2-day trip, 28 guys, magnificent fishing with 68 bluefin, a yellowtail, a Dorado. Really excellent fishing. We told you the Pegasus was bid up early in the morning yesterday. I think they're having a great trip. We're watching them very, very closely. And then we get into the full day boats. And yesterday on board the San Diego Seaforth Sport Fishing. Good to see that clicking again. 70 Dorado for limits on the flatheads. They are so much fun to catch. Acrobatic, colorful, great eating. And they had limits of those fish. That's great fishing. 12 yellowtail and 3 yellowfin tuna. We told you about the Pride with 100+ fish. Boats are rolling up on that zone right now as we speak, like the Mission Belle, the Liberty, the San Diego, the Sea Watch. Man, I'm glad to see those full-day boats catch it again. And if you're on an overnight trip right now, man, it's perfect timing. Looks really good. By the way, don't forget, you want a list of our charters, I'll send it to you. All you got to do is text me, 657-227-6459, and I'll get you that list. Danny Cadota Show returns tomorrow night. Can't wait to see Danny on here. Man, he is so insightful, such a nice person, and man, he's got his finger on the pulse of everything that's going on. We'll continue to watch that with Danny. So some good signal there out of San Diego. We get up here to LA Orange County based boats. Same thing. They're fishing that same zone. Tanner Bank and surrounding area. It may not be right on top of Tanner. It may have moved a little bit. It may be on top of Tanner. Those guys are adept at finding the fish and getting on them. Most of that bluefin in the daytime seems to be like that, I want to say 15 to 25, 30-pound fish, but there's some 100-pound stuff mixed in with it. And the nighttime bite has been a little bit hit and miss since that storm went through. It'll settle again. But those are mostly bigger fish at night, it seems like. And you're fishing you're fishing 200-pound leader on your jigs, but you're fishing 300 to 400 grams. Right now, 3 seems to be just about right. Dropping it to the appropriate depth. When the captain says drop, you drop fast. You've got metered line that changes color every 100 feet, so you know exactly where your little jig is. And man, it's been really outstanding for big fish. I suspect that's going to get better and better and better. We'll keep our eyes on that. LA Orange County based boats, again, doing quite well on those tuna also. And as I say, once this water temperature rebounds, and it's already there, it's getting there in a hurry. It's getting that way on the beach also where it fell. It fell at the Coronado Islands. It's all recuperating. Cedros, all of these areas are going to recuperate, and it's going to be chewing even better than it is right now. Up there in the Channel Islands, yeah, I mean, we see bluefin up there, and I even have some hopes for an albacore or two up in that neck of the woods. We'll see what happens with the offshore thing. And then up there in Fort Bragg, full speed albacore right now. If you want an albie, don't listen to Phil Friedman's prediction about SoCal albies. Head to Fort Bragg, where it is absolutely fantastic right now. Our islands down there, Todos Santos, Ensenada, again, that mixed bag fishing. Coronado Island starting to recoup in water temperature. There's some good yellowtail action there. I want to say 5 to 30 yellows per boats that are fishing there, sometimes even better than that. And then calico bass and a few barracuda and that kind of stuff. Coronado Islands, you do need passports if you're fishing that. If you're fishing offshore, like most of the guys are now with this new influx of fish, then you do not need a passport. Up here, San Clemente Island, there's some yellowtail biting in that neck of the woods. We see some pretty good yellow action out there. You got to fight the sea lions. However, good calico bass fishing. Catalina Island, a few yellows, some calico bass. Channel Islands, mostly rockfish right now, but always looming as a possibility a good sea bass or halibut bite. And I still think that is a great possibility up in that neck of the woods. Coral Sea, boats out of Santa Barbara, some lings and great rock fishing. Channel Islands, great rock fishing. Look for some better surface action. Also on the beach, we continue to see some really good fishing on the bass. It has been a best year I've seen in at least a decade for calico and sand bass. So good to see that happening again. Down there around San Diego, we see good local fishing. Maybe not as good as it once was, but still pretty darn good. And man, that local rockfish bite has been stupendous out of SD this year, and it's still going on. Up there around Dana Wharf, we see good calico bass fishing, some nice sand bass, occasional big halibut, and not very far from there, we see some kelp, paddy, yellowtail, and Dorado. In fact, the freelance out of Davies Lockers offshore as we speak. Look for big things from them. Look for big things in the very near future. That is going to bite. I'm telling you, we're going to have this local fish here very, very soon. Up here in the LA Orange County area, Long Beach-based boats, San Pedro-based boats, boats out of Davies Locker. All these guys from here up to San Pedro really catching good amounts of sand bass and calico bass. Drop that line test down. Fish floral, get down to 12 and 15 pound, and you'll be bet all day long on the sand bass. It's been a reverse dropper loop, you know, a 2 to 4 ounce torpedo sinker, a good hot anchovy. It's mouth closed. Sometimes you'll get bit right when you hit the bottom. Other times, just wind it back slowly and watch your rod load up. It's been really great fishing up there in Marina del Rey. Plenty of rockfish, some bass also, but, you know, private boaters up there have been having some really great fishing. Alex Serrano fished out of Marina del Rey yesterday, and he took Ernesto Vasquez out for their very first trip. And man, they had an absolute ball. They limited out on sheep's head, all kinds of trigger fish, and they also had crazy good bass fishing with several legals and probably 100 bass that they caught and released. Really a great trip. Hey guys, you need to work on your smiling skills when you're having this much fun. Come on, smile. This is supposed to be fun. Just kidding. People express their joy and happiness in many different ways, but a great trip for Alex and Ernesto. It really sounds really good. Fatima Herrera, who's been on the Friedman Adventures show, a lovely young lady, was out kayak fishing last night, and you can see how she did with her kids. Another great outing for her. She's always all over it and having lots of fun up there out of Ventura Harbor. Sport Fishing 805-676-3474. We continue to see bass fishing pretty good along the coast. A little bit of barracuda, occasional halibut, bonita around there also. Island Spirit out of Ventura Harbor. Sport Fishing, a great ride with a great crew. The Californian half-day boat, also another great ride and great boat. They're doing very well up there. And, you know, the fallback is rockfish. If they don't get the surface fish to bite, they can always fall back on the rockfish and do quite well indeed on that. The surf. I'm super excited about the surf right now. That water temp's starting to get back up there to 70 degrees, and it's just going to reignite. Not that it's been horribly slow, but it's been kind of slow here the last little time after that storm, the day after that storm. It kind of slowed up, but water temps are coming back. I'm excited about it because perhaps I'll be fishing with Eddie Leland this afternoon and Noli Yan Jr. It should be an exciting time. And once again, there's been good barb perch fishing down there around Newport, plenty of sand crabs you can dig up, use for bait. Of course, there's been really good corbina fishing, and low tide or high tide, doesn't matter. You can catch those beans right here in the surf. Light line, sand crab, and man, you're out to the races. Digging up sandworms is another great way. And of course, your surf fishing headquarters, located about a mile down this way from me. That's Big Fish Bait and Tackle, man. They've got a vast array of surf fishing baits. They're your surf fishing headquarters. Not only that, they got big game stuff also, but right down there in the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and PCH, you can check in with them and do quite well. So really good surf fishing from down below the border to up here into this neck of the woods and up north. Also, we continue to see yellowfin croaker, some good halibut fishing coming off a Grunion Run. We see some really good fishing for spotfin croaker, especially down around Oceanside, San Diego. That'll creep up into this area here very, very soon. Those fish like to bite bait, so you got to keep that in mind also. All right, my friends, it is looking good. I got to tell you, I'm loving what's going on, and it's only going to get better. We're recuperating a little bit right now from that storm that went through. It's reducing the water temperatures. It's going to really chew. And already we're seeing, I mean, it's not like fishing shut off either after. It was still quite good. I just really think it's going to get better and better and better. Don't forget our charter list. If you want it, we'd love to fish with you on our final trips of the year, 657-227-6459. That great trip on board the Horizon, leaving August the 31st, 2.5-day trip. I think you would have a great time on that one. 7 people the last time I checked. They need 10 to run. They're going to get the 10. I have no doubt about that. And then maybe they'll get out with like 15, 18 people. We fished 30 on there and had no problem. So it is a unique and great opportunity fishing with my buddy, Ricky Perez. Say hi to him if you send him a text or you give him a call. Ricky Perez, good friend of mine, and he will fish hard for you. All right, my friends, hit that like button, share these videos, tick the bell, and subscribe to the channel. It means so much to us. I can't thank you enough for your great support. Almost 11,000 subscribers now, as we just ran through another 1,000 really fast here, all thanks to you. All right, my friends, have a great day. As always, it's my pleasure to spend some time with you on this lovely, beautiful Wednesday morning. Don't forget to go back and watch Tackle Shop Confessions. Watch Michael Limon doing jumping jacks and Sam De La Torre giving you some great advice. And of course, I'll be here the rest of the day keeping you informed and hopefully wetting the line with my dear friend, Eddie Leland. Have a great day, and I hope to see you really, really soon.